Good evening.
Hello.
You're watching SketchMeMyLegs.
They're not really watching us, they're listening to us.
That's right, you're watching or listening to a podcast.
On YouTube.
The very first podcast we've ever done, in fact.
Yeah, and I feel that because it's a first ever podcast, what we've ever done,
Yes.
we ought to have a sort of introductory podcast. A podcast with an introduction.
I think
The
so.
introductory
For example,
podcast.
if there was to be a title to this podcast, it
Yes.
would be The Introductory Podcast.
Yes, I think that's a damn good title.
Yes.
That's what it says on the tin.
Well,
Let's be going on with the introductory podcast.
let's do that.
We are SketchMeMyLegs,
Indeed we are.
and I'm Matthew,
And I'm Andrew.
and I'm the janitor, and we're sort of here to make your lives generally much better.
Yes, we are.
How are we going to do that, Andrew?
Well, I'm not sure, Weldon, you see. We haven't prepared anything to talk about,
No,
and we're not very interesting people.
I would speak for yourself.
Well, I'm looking at you and thinking, ugh.
I'm looking at you and thinking you're as bland as brown paper in a toilet bowl. No, we are here to do sketches
Yes.
and other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we said we'd do a podcast, didn't we?
Yeah,
And here we are.
Here we are in the introductory podcast.
I'll tell you what, right? Let's discuss things.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something which I've tried to get onto YouTube for a number of years now, and which I've never managed
It's
to.
the average number of legs.
It is.
Right, okay. You know, I've heard this argument so many times and I'm still not convinced by it. The average number of person does not have a... No, hang on. An above
The average
num-
person has an above average number of legs because, well, how many people have you ever seen with 3 legs?
None.
Exactly.
Apart from that Channel 4 show.
Yes, okay, fine, but that's besides the point. Now, how many
Boy
people...
whose body was legs.
Yes. How many people have you seen with 1 leg? Maybe one fell off in the night. Maybe they went to Afghanistan on holiday.
Yes, I've seen some of them.
So, the average number of legs on a person is about, maybe 1.9?
1.999 recurring 9. Essentially
Yes.
2.
No, it's below 2. So if you have 2 legs, properly sized legs, then you have an above average number of legs.
Isn't that jolly interesting?
That's extremely interesting.
You know, I was watching the Graham Norton show last night on a totally unrelated point,
Yes.
and they played a game where you find out your Bond girl name.
Right.
Where you...
How do you do that?
You do, your first name
Yes.
is the nickname you had as a child for your part.
Oh, I see.
Your part. Your
Right.
part. And the second one is your grandmother's maiden name.
What would yours be?
I don't know.
That wouldn't work for me.
I don't know what my grand's maiden name is.
Mine would just be Gentleman Sausage Anderson. That doesn't work.
License to kill. Gentleman. I don't know.
Well, go on, what's
I
yours?
don't know what my grandmother's maiden name is.
How can you not know what your
I've never taken an interest.
what's her married name?
O'Neill.
So-
Dingleberry O'Neill. Well, no, this works if you've got quite a cool name.
I was expecting you, Dingleberry O'Neill. Absolute rubbish. What a
Yeah,
terrible...
well, put in the
system.
comments below.
Yes, what would your nickname...
Bond girl
Yes.
name be?
Well, anyway,
Mm.
on another completely unrelated note,
Yeah.
um,
We've run out of things to say, haven't we?
yes, that's
Well,
it.
I think what we are going to do today is go to a quarry. I don't know if I've told you about this. I want to go to the quarry to
Oh,
record
dear.
the first bit. Where we're not supposed to be, and film the first part,
Oh, yes.
and,
that's it.
hopefully what will become a sort of, not a series, but a sort of a 3 or 4 parter parody
Yes.
of Darren Brown. So that should be quite funny.
That should be very funny.
I hope.
Yes.
Seeing as it was my idea. I'm going to be Darren.
And I'm going to be
James. Yes, your name is James.
I shall be the unwilling suspect.
Yes, and I'm going to convince you of many things.
Indeed.
It promises to be promising.
Indeed.
So, subscribe, and the moment it's up, you'll get it on yours, and also you'll get more of these really professional podcasts.
Yes, next week is the month of November, which means that the American election will be happening.
Oh yes, we must do something.
We
on
will
that.
do something about that.
Yes, Romney,
Yes.
beware, because we are coming after you with a critical
eye
and
scintillating rhetoric.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, so watch out, Romney.
yes, we'll see you then.
Yeah.
And for now, it's goodbye from that.
Oh,
And,
I've got a joke
well, go on.
before we go. Okay, a mother and her 3 daughters are sitting around the table, and the first daughter says, "Mummy, why am I called Rose?" And the mother says, "Because, darling, when you were born, a rose petal fell on your head, and we called you Rose."
Yes.
Don't know where that rose petal has come from, but apparently it did. The second daughter says, "Why am I called Tulip?" And the mother says, "Because, darling, when you were born, a tulip petal landed on your head and we called you Tulip."
From the tulip tree.
Yes, from the tree of the tulip.
Yes.
And the third daughter says, and the mother says, "Be quiet, fridge." That's funny.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, and on that note, I think that's as good as it's going to get.
Yes. Well, no, hang on. I've got a joke.
Yeah.
Right. There's this mullah and a priest and a rabbi and a nun, and they walk into a bar, and the barman says, "Is this some kind of joke?"
Oh, well, and that's as good as it's going to get.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Goodbye.
yeah, subscribe
Oh yes, do that.
and like
yes.
and comment and that, yeah.
Do we have a Twitter account yet or a Facebook?
Not for this, but we do have a Edit Mode one. I don't want to make a new Twitter account. I have made a new Facebook account.
Right.
We are SketchMeMyLegs on Facebook,
Right.
but we are at Did It For Bod on Twitter.
Right.
And just about everyone who follows us, as the profile picture would suggest that they actually have an arse for a face.
Yes, that's
so,
true. Yes, there was someone that followed me last night called Sexy Skeptic,
Ooh!
who is a semi-naked woman lying on a deck chair, doubting everything she's told.
Oh, wow!
Which I can think of literally nothing better.
So I'm assuming you read her tweets
Yes, I have.
over and over again.
Anyway,
Yeah, follow at Did It For Bod, link in the description, and like our Facebook page and subscribe and stuff. And I think we'll be off now.
yes.
We're off to film.
Goodbye.
Good night, YouTube.